Good evening, everyone out there in internet land. It is another Friday Night Live here with the Page crew. Thanks, everyone, for joining us so much. As always, I'm joined by Ed Stark, special guest coordinator, Jenn Cash from the Blind Bard, and Ron, our head organizer. How are we doing, everybody? Everybody have a good week?
Yes, it was a great week for me.
Yep. I'm glad to have Ron organizing my head.
Okay. All right. I'm not 100% know what that means, but we'll take it. Well, we are now fully in the month of September. Folks out there, if you're watching, Elise Paxton just slid into the server. Hello, Elise. Thanks for joining us. We are getting deeper into the late summer months. We are getting closer to autumn, which means that every day that ticks by is one day closer to page 3. Things are gearing up. We're getting excited as we are well aware that the months are ticking down, but we're happy that you're with us, everybody. We have 2 fantastic guests that are joining us this evening. We are joined tonight by T.R. Nickel, and we are also joined tonight by Kevin Vorup. And we are going to be joined by them in just a short amount of time here, unless anyone from the crew here has something to say. Ron, I see you've got a new sort of looks like you got a new backdrop back there. I see Kobolds Ate My Baby. I see Fight On. I see Pirate Borg.
Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. So you want to be a game master?
Yeah,
we're showing off some of the goods from our supporters and vendors and special guests, and I'm happy to do that. And really, they're good products, and we want to support everything they do. Now, I will tell you that, since you didn't do your research again, Phil. She prefers to go by the name Rose. So don't call her something else like TR Dunn, the old Atlanta Hawks basketball player.
Okay.
She prefers to go by Rose, and just so you know that. And Kevin likes to go by King Smurf. So make sure you call him King Smurf when he's on here. That's his preference.
Will do. So, I'll remember those things. Yeah.
Hey, Ron, I've also noticed you've got this really cool and professional on-air notification thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Very WKOP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was going for. That's exactly what I was going for.
I love it. Yeah.
So, yep. So, if we're ready, I see Elise Paxton's in here. She's trying not to spread her plague to the rest of the world. She's got the plague right now. And
feel better.
Yeah, no, she's feeling better. And as Phil said, she was sliding into the chat. She's used to sliding into DMs, apparently. She's an old hand at that. Oh,
Goodness
look
gracious.
At that. It's Chet Mitten artist.
Hey, Chet.
Hey, I wanted to ask, do we have a giveaway or a contest or anything tonight?
Well, we always have something from Troll Lord Games. We have a $25 code for their website. And we're going to go ahead with another trivia question tonight. So,
what's the capital of Bulgaria?
Your trivia questions are hard, Ron.
Well, okay. Well, they're not supposed to be easy. And how's the saying go? Without failure, you can never really truly enjoy success.
That is true.
So, all right.
I have a trivia question that I'd love to ask people, but it has nothing to do with any of the stuff that's going on tonight.
Oh, well.
But it is, I mean, it is definitely role playing related.
I think we're going to ask a Smurfs trivia question tonight. How's that sound?
It's fine with me.
All right. Well, first we're going to start off with Rose from. Hold on, I'm having trouble with my technology here. Everything is blacked out, and there she is.
Hello.
Hey, Rose.
How are
y'all.
you?
Hi, Rose.
Tonight's a great night because I get to spend it with you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I am, as Phil said, TR Nickel, Tiffany Rose Nickel, or Rose. I am one half of Red Rose Works, obviously the Rose part, Red being Jerry Red Shepherd. And together we are game developers, publishers, and we are also authors. So we have our foot in a bunch of different creative, hemispheres, if you will. I work with people all over the gaming industry, whether that's Chaosium, G20, Gygax Inc. I worked with 66 Studios with Cosmo Joe. I've just gotten my toes wet in all the waters of game writing. But other than that, Jerry and I own Dungeon Race RPG, which is a faction-raced RPG system where we take book worlds such as the Legends of Limoria, which is my own, or the Broken Fault Line series, which is her, and we turn them into game settings. So you can not only just read about the worlds, but you can play in them too. And then we also own One Page Dice Dungeons, which we actually are doing a very exclusive and fun 1-page, 4-page this year. So it's in the name. It just works real well.
Well, that's a lot of stuff, and we're usually not. We're pretty taken back because you actually have a clean delivery and we're prepared. Most of our guests just, they just bumble through that, but that was right off the cuff. We really appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, I do podcasts, they're fun to do. I also have my own podcast, though that is a little bit like rated R because we swear quite a bit. So it's called The Porcelain Palace, but essentially we just talk about crazy, weird, unfiltered takes of everyday life. And we just are there to have a good time. Maybe we could get you guys on the Porcelain Palace sometime and just have a good night.
I'd love to do that. And you know what? I think, I'll be honest, I think I've heard that advertised on Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It's been kind of shocking. We started, I think we're on like our 8th or 9th episode, and we've already are in the thousands of listeners. So it was kind of crazy. The idea came out of nowhere. I had a dream about me doing a podcast where I sit in my bathroom, and from there, Dan Ween, who was a producer and one of the hosts for the Unranked podcast, which was a very popular gaming podcast. Me and him were friends, and he was like, I'm going to make this a reality. And now we're 9 episodes in, and it's kind of crazy.
That's awesome. I'm going to look that up.
Please do.
Very cool.
Did you say his name is Dan Ween?
Yes, it is.
You think that's shortened for something else?
I asked the same question when I first met him. I was like, was that shortened when you came over from overseas at one point?
I'll tell you, it's funny to hear your story about the origin of your podcast. Because silly, stupid trivia, but Weird Al Yankovic recorded his first song that ever got broadcast on the air in his bathroom, in his college bathroom, because it had the best acoustics that he had available. It was My Sharona, and it got played on the Dr. Meadow show, and that kickstarted this whole thing. But,
that's amazing.
Yeah, one of the things I like is I posted your website, by the way, for people on.
Thank you.
So people can refer to that. I love the fact that you turn your books into a campaign. We actually have a seminar that Rich Baker, a longtime designer, is going to run at Page. That's the reverse. That's like, my campaign should be a book.
Oh, I love that. Well, tell him to call me because I've also turned campaign books into novels. So
I will get you guys communicating with each other. It's funny because I've only written a couple of novels, and all my professional
just
writing.
a couple.
Well, you've written a lot more than I have. My professional writing has always been set in a shared world, whereas you're going the other way. You're writing a novel, and then you're creating a world. But when you were writing your novels, were you already thinking about turning them into campaign worlds, or did that just evolve?
It's funny you say that. So Zalia, I was just looking for one of my books and they're all in my car for my next show. So Zalia, who's the main character of my first book, Light of Evanora, of the Legends
That's
of
the
Lemuria
half-elf,
right?
Right?
Yeah, that's a half elf.
Yeah,
She was my first. Oh, I'm flattered. Thank you. But with Zalia, she was my first ever D&D character. So yeah, so she originated from a game, and so I was so obsessed with the backstory that I had made with her, with the Automina clan, and this whole foreign aspect of a separated but sovereign country that was within a country of itself, but segregated by people who wanted to live a more like just laid back life where they work together as a community, like Smurfs. Um, and
to our next guest, yes.
yeah, but when the campaign ended, I was devastated because it was far before anything really got delved out, and explored. So I started building a world, and I spent 5 years building out that world just so I could write her story. And when I was building that world, the rest of the legends were born. So books 1 through 4 each have their own main character, like a backstory, but they're all interconnected. So you get to see how they know each other, how they've influenced each other's stories at that time, and how they all come together in book 5 for that campaign adventure.
That is so terrific.
That's awesome. Our first characters are always the best.
That is very true. It's, they sit in your heart, and you just never let them go. And I was just a little hyper fixated on mine. Just a little.
Well, I know of a few authors who have had, I think, similar stories. Long time ago, I got to hear Stephen Bruce talk about his Jared novels, and apparently that series was based on an old D&D campaign that they ran. What's her name? The Deeds of Paxenarian. I think that might have been Elizabeth Moon.
Okay.
We always, when I was working at TSR, we always used to refer people to her books whenever we wanted somebody to be able to write an interesting paladin, because too often you'd have paladins who are just like total stick in the mud,
right? Buzzkills, yeah.
And Paxenarian totally is not like that, but she is definitely a paladin. So
yeah. I think paladins are grossly underused. I think it's really cool to have someone who has a strong moral compass and would do like anything to stay within that. And sometimes that comes with a lot of sacrifice and struggle, because you are tempted to maybe break out of that moral code to help someone, right? Like if your friend decided to do something that was outside the bounds of your moral code, like stealing from a building, but then that building caught on fire and now your friend's inside, but entering would mean that you are also breaking and entering or whatever. And so there's like those dilemmas that paladins often come across, that I feel like we don't get to explore or really like highlight enough in literature.
They have a ready-made tension there for
Exactly. And I think we should lean on that more.
So Tiffany, before we bring on Rose, before we bring on our next guest, you said you had something special for Paige coming out?
Yeah. So one-page Dice Dungeons, everything you need to know is on one page, whether that's the adventures or the rule sets. But the adventures themselves, which one we're doing for Paige, is completely agnostic. So you can play it with 5e, Cthulhu, whatever your favorite system is to use. You just input the setting. But this one, we have it centered around Independence Hall. An Independence Hall in the midst of a zombie apocalypse. So, and it is one of the last strongholds in Philadelphia. So,
Nice.
I'm very excited to show that to you, Ron. We're just finishing up with the layout, and you'll have it for your
Beautiful.
eyes, and we can tease some of the artwork and other things once we have that.
Independence Hall is near and dear to me because right up the street is Carpenters Hall, where the Carpenters Union, the first ever Carpenters Union meeting convened at
that's
Carpenters
so cool.
Hall. So, yeah, and it's still there. It's still there. It was built by Carpenters. So,
It would have been fun if it was built by butchers or something.
It's just completely off script.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna bring in our next guest here, and let's see where do I get? There he is, and he's coming back from Phil. You remember what I told you his name? He prefers to be called
King Smurfopolis. Is that what it was?
Yes. All right. Well, here he is. And it's go ahead, Phil. You can do the welcome.
Kevin, aka Smurfy von Smurfykins. Borup, welcome to Friday Night Live with this crazy crew of characters. So you've been sitting in the green room, hanging out in the background, listening to this conversation. And so you know what we've been talking about. But as we transition to talking a little bit about what you've been working on recently, and let's hear about, of course, and if anybody in the crowd, if you don't know, Kevin is a creator of the Smurf RPG. That's why we keep busting his stones about it, because that's what he's known for. So, yeah, Kevin, let us hear a little bit about your background, what you do, and then we absolutely want to hear about the Smurf RPG.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, first of all. And I almost forgot I was going to be a guest because I was listening to all of you talk about Rose, and what Rose is doing sounds amazing. So happy to be on here. But as you know, I was hanging out in Smurf Village, and I'm still there. This is kind of a location shot, so on location from Smurf.
Well, in the world of fishing, like fishing, that is what you call a spot burn right there. You just spot burned the location of the Smurf Village. So Gargamel and Azrael are on their way over there, as well as some other part-time enemies the Smurfs have, and then one-off enemies like the ogre that tried to eat them.
Well, Ron, it's a good thing that Smurf Village has that, little bit of magic around it. So you can't find it unless you're a Smurf. So luckily, I haven't burned them, even though we're on location here, but they'll be fine. So
built-in VPN. Nice.
That's right. So, a few years ago, I thought up the Smurfs role-playing game and reached out to our good friends in the Netherlands at Payo and said, hey, have you guys ever had a role-playing game for the Smurfs? And they said, we haven't. That sounds like a really good idea. And then, they started singing that Smurf little song,
I think I can hear it.
I can't get that song out of my head.
That's right. And luckily, they had here in North America, Maestro Media was a partner of theirs. And so I chatted with my good friends at Maestro Media and Yvonne Frazier, and we said, hey, let's work together and let's get a Smurfs role-playing game together. And they had already been putting together the Smurfs Village board game. So the good news is all the cutouts and stuff, if people are using those, they can swap them out with the board game and the role-playing game. So it'll be pretty interesting. But anyhow, and the Smurfs really came out of thinking about, game systems and how to make a nice, light system that would be fun to play. And where your little Smurf could Smurf their heart out, and in the end, always end up back in their bed in Smurf Village, no matter how bad it got. Even if you at some point were in Gargamel's lab and hanging in the cages, but
you do make me think of one big question, and this is we've got actually a number of role-playing games that are coming out and are going to be at Page that are what I would think of as sort of non-traditional. Oh, what am I going to say? Non-traditional conflict, I guess, would be it. Because like Smurf, the Smurfs, the cartoon was not really about, violence. The Smurfs, while they would be heroes in this fantasy world, were not, swinging swords or casting fireballs or things like that. What is, if I'm playing the Smurf RPG, what sort of things am I doing for like conflict resolution? How's our adventure?
It actually is the full range of things that, I think I've likened Smurf Village to kind of, and Smurf Adventures to a West Marches campaign. You all come back to Smurf Village and then you figure out, is it Taylor Smith and Hefty Smurf for the next adventure? Or are we going to go with Poet Smurf and someone else? And depending on what Smurf and what your specialty is, that's what you're going to bring into the game. And that's what you're going to rely on. So if you're Poet Smurf, you might very well put people to sleep with your poetry if you needed to get past them or something like that, right? So it just depends on your Smurfiness and what kind of Smurf powers you're going to bring into play. So, but not to say you can't swing a sword as a Smurf or have a fireball come flying out, because of course if you remember back to the famous cartoons that were in the United States, all of those things happened and more. So
well, we have to remember too that the Smurfs did have weapons. I mean, they would occasionally have like little mini halberds that they would like carry around when they were in trouble. And Hefty would occasionally have a club or a sword or something like that. So they did have access to weapons, and of course, Gargamel's tactics changed. First he wanted to eat the Smurfs, and then he wanted to turn the Smurfs into gold.
That old wizard alchemist, always trying to do that to our poor friends, the Smurfs.
That's just another capitalist trying to attack the socialist regime for their own greedy benefit.
That's right. Luckily our Smurfs, are resilient, always able to fight off our old friend Gargamel or the giant who would come in. So quite a lot of fun. And that game, if you want to get a peek at what those mechanics look like, it's based on a previous game, small game I published called Burn 2D6, and that really is kind of the basis of Smurfs. But for those of you who backed it on the Kickstarter, the PDF has been out now for a while. So right now we're just waiting on the physical fulfillment of the game. But the full game's already out there. Ron, I'm sure you've got the file somewhere hanging around there.
I downloaded and I've been reading through it, and I'm very excited. I was in an antique shop. I was driving down through the hinterlands of the Delmarva Peninsula towards Virginia Beach in Norfolk, Virginia, for work, and I stopped at an antique shop, and they had the full set of Smurf glasses, So I bought them all, bought the full set, and I have in my refrigerator in the game room, I've got a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola, which I'm not supposed to have because I'm diabetic.
Worth
but
it.
for the sake of going back to my youth, when we first play that, I'm going to give everybody a Smurf glass, and I'm going to fill it up with Coca-Cola, and we're going to play this. We're going to play the Smurfs RPG,
Oh,
and I'm
you're
very
gonna have a
excited
great
about it.
time.
I want that blue Jones Cola instead, so I can pretend it's Smurf.
What? Pretend
He
it's
wants
Smurf.
to drink
You
the
wanna
essence
drink-
of the Smurfs, right?
Hey,
Eternal life.
I'm with
Eternal life,
Gargamel.
right?
Are
Yeah,
you
Gargamel's
Gargamel?
I'm with Gargamel. Yeah, you know.
He must be Gargamel.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
man.
Rose, I gotta put you on the spot here as a pro game designer and with your one-page adventures. Can you give us a TLDR, an elevator pitch for a Smurf adventure that you would propose for Kevin?
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like the main part is they have to go probably searching for something that gets them a little into trouble, or perhaps fall into Gargamel's trap. And they have to get clever on how to escape before coming home to, I don't know, have a party, split a cookie. I don't know.
I've got it. How about they used to have a little puppy that they adopted. So maybe
he goes
puppy
missing.
Yeah, maybe he goes missing and he ends up in Gargamel's hut, and the Smurfs have to go and rescue him.
Well, the good news,
or perhaps Gargamel does actually manage to cast a spell and it causes a great drought, so there's no food, and the Smurfs have to make the tough decision if they're going to eat their
Oh,
puppet.
that's
well,
terrible.
the good news about the game is you do have companions that you can bring with you. So if you're playing and you even could do a one-on-one game, you could be the GM for the game playing against one Smurf. You can pair them with a sidekick like Baby Smurf or someone else who will help unlock additional things that they can do in the game. So
I would.
It's definitely a collaborative game where you can kind of, if you want to, each Smurf could have their own little sidekick.
Love
See, and
that.
I would shape the Smurfs more into a Shakespearean type of morality play. Well, you have one of the crux of whatever adventure is, one of the 7 deadly sins. One of the Smurfs, gets too prideful. Hefty Smurf gets too proud of his own strength, and so he causes the trouble that everybody has to rescue him for. Or
that's right. We remember Prideful Smurf and Gluttony Smurf and Slothful Smurf. All of those. You can bring them in.
Make it very much a Shakespearean tragedy, only probably with a happy ending because it is, Smurfs.
It is.
Could
Smurfs.
do that.
Well,
Yeah, I have a question. So I teach high school for a living, and if I asked my kids who the Smurfs were, these are high school students, I would probably, out of 5 classes, I might get like 3 kids. So, and the reason why I say that is, I always have kids that have cool parents that actually.
There was a Smurf movie, remember?
Right. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because they don't watch movies anymore. Like kids, they don't watch movies. They don't watch TV shows. Like if it's not on TikTok or YouTube, they don't watch it. Like they just don't. I'm like, you ever see this movie? Nope. It just came out. Oh, I don't even know what it is. Were you, as you were reaching out to the folks in Europe about utilizing the IP for a new product in English? Did they have questions about, well, do you think people are going to or who are you marketing this to? Like, who's going to back this?
Well, there is an ongoing Smurfs TV show on right now. I mean, you can go on, and boy, I'm going to get it wrong, but I believe it's on, is it Netflix?
See, I didn't even know that.
So there is an ongoing show, but it skews a little younger than you, Phil. It's aimed a little lower.
Okay.
But there's an ongoing show, and so they have ongoing marketing, and it's one of the most recognizable brands in the world. So I don't think that that Peyo themselves had any concerns about it. And we'll see as far as localization in Europe what ends up happening with the RPG. So
now I want to address this message from chat. When Chet Minton was a child, and he had flame red hair. For those who don't know, he was a cinnamon ginger. Yes, he was. He used to collect Smurfs, and he built a terrarium in a 55-gallon tank with a Smurf village
That's
inside.
awesome.
wow, that is pretty amazing.
So are you bringing this to Paige, Chet?
I would love
That's
to
what
see
I
that
want to
at
know.
Page.
He's already got his character for the Smurfs RPG.
And I did
Smurf.
see some of those questions.
Not
someone
as cool
was
as
asking
Mary
about
Ann
what
Smurf.
year the Smurfs were created. What's interesting about him, I don't think they were Peyo's favorite to start with, because he liked Johann and Peewit. And actually, the first time the Smurfs appeared were in an adventure for Johann and Peewit. I think it was like late 1950s. And so the Smurfs go back quite a while.
I thought it was the 60s. Personally, if I had to take a stab at it, I would have said 60s. But
well, I'll look it up. I think it was like 1958.
You're probably right.
In Johann and Peewit's Spiru Comics or something like that.
Actually, if you really want to know, Life magazine just put out a compilation issue about the Smurfs.
Yeah, I picked it up, Ron. I saw it too at the checkout stand in the
I hope
supermarket.
you would.
I know.
It's outstanding. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I read it, and then I gave it to my friend's wife, who I know is a huge Smurfs fan and Smurfs collector, and I sent it to their house with my buddy.
Before we Smurf too far,
now
I just want to say that, in addition to that, I do have a podcast each month, Analytic Dice, where we talk about a different game and talk about the mechanics behind the game. Occasionally, we interview cool people. The last one was Jason Elliott at Solarian Games about his involvement with Top Secret.
Cool.
And
Awesome.
and then I do have a Kickstarter supposedly coming up in the fall for the Book of Z. And the Book of Z, it's an independent again RPG that's Z's. It's zombies,
Yeah, I was gonna
Zany
say,
West, and
that's a
Zero
zombie.
Punk. Yeah, all of that.
I got to
convention organizers are cool people too. If you're looking for
absolutely.
guests, so,
anyone in the creator space.
Yeah, I think. I do have a pretty successful module that I wrote that just sold out in 2 days. So pretty happy about that. I think this is a fair question from Christopher Robinson. He asks if Tiffany is a werecat.
The jury's out on that, and I cannot confirm nor deny it for legal purposes.
Hey,
It's up to interpretation.
I have a little trivia question for the panel. So as we identified, the Smurfs, are based out of a European comic. What was it? Pewin, and it's 1947, whatever. So they've been around for a while. There's another European comic that's been around for almost as long that was also set in a European village, and there has magical elements in it, and it became so popular they made a theme park out of it that still exists in France.
I know the answer. So I'll see if I know. I know the answer.
Let's give our guests first look at it.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a hint too. The art
France.
style is actually not all that different from the original art style from the Smurfs comic.
Not Asterix and Obelix.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never even heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is phenomenally popular in Europe for like 50 years. it's one of the reasons people posit that Euro Disney did not do well, because Asterix was and still is incredibly popular over there. But
Yeah. And there's probably at least 5 or 6 live action movies.
yeah, oh, more than that, yeah.
Yeah,
And some
there's
animated
a
ones.
bunch. Yeah.
There's been video games.
Yeah.
It was one of the things, the Asterix books they're similar in ways to the old Warner Brothers cartoons, in that they're directed at kids, but they're written with adults, humor and stuff in mind. There's lots of puns. A big part of the books is cultural references and puns. So the localization offices, at one point, they had over 80 localization offices around the world, including localization offices in Britain and in America, because they translated the jokes differently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but
I had
it was a bit of a deviation, but it made me think of it because they both kind of grew out of the same source in a way.
I had to look it up because I'd never heard of it. But when I see it, the blonde character that has like the Thor helmet,
Yeah.
or Hermes, either or,
Yeah.
he looks like Mario.
He definitely predates Mario by like 30
I
years.
think Nintendo did something, but that's like Mario's nose and smile and stash. Like there's a maybe that's an ancestor of Mario. I don't know. They look a lot alike.
Yeah. They're supposed to be Gauls, like during like the Roman period.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like they all have like those names that end in IX and things like that, as the Romans Latinized, the Germanic peoples.
And they're all very punny. Like Asterix and Obelix are probably the most neutral of the names, and even those are puns. But you've got a druid who in the American version is Getafix, because he's he's always brewing potions. And the mayor,
so clever.
The chieftain is Vital Statistics. And again, their names have to be translated to different things in different languages. So
that's so funny.
So cool.
Well, quickly, before we get too far into the history of comics, we do have a $25 Troll Lord Games online credit. And then, as we all know, Troll Lord Games is the sponsor, one of our sponsors for not only this program but a page. And I'm going to keep it Smurf related, and I'm going to keep it topical to tonight's episode. So, folks in the chat, get ready. We've mentioned that Chet Minton was a ginger when he was a child. He loved the Smurfs. The first person who can answer this, who was the most prominent character on the Smurfs that was a ginger? First one to shoot it out there wins the $25 gift code.
No cheating, people.
They're not going to figure that out. They got to think about it. It's a trick question.
Third tier ginger.
I think I know it. Ron. I think I've got it.
I think I know it too.
Me too.
Well, Kevin, you better have it. Yeah.
And I think for anyone who's lucky enough to get that PDF, I think right now Troll Lord Games is 50% off on their PDFs. I saw on one of my Discord promo things. Now's the time to spend that money.
They got to, Chet, I cannot believe you got this wrong. You of all people, for so many reasons, should not get this wrong, but you got it wrong. They're all talking about Sassy Smurf. That's not the most prominent ginger.
Well, I got it wrong too then.
Well,
there's a super prominent ginger in the Smurfs. Very prominent.
Prominent is kind of a value proposition, though. I mean,
Chet, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not Sassy or Sassette. I'm sorry. You're wrong. There's a far more key character in the Smurfs that's a ginger.
Is it a secret redhead?
I think this is a trick. I think it's a trick question. I think it's a trick question.
It could be a trick question.
Are you sure somebody in chat doesn't have it?
Somebody just asked if it was Handy Smurf.
There's only one other person I can think of.
No, it's not Brainy Smurf.
And you got to remember, most of these Smurfs have no hair. Oh, I think I see one popping up there.
Yeah,
there it is.
Right there.
There it is. Scott Bombeck has correctly answered the question.
Right. Trick question. Everybody thought it was a Smurf. Everybody thought it was a Smurf, but we forget Azrael was a red cat.
And Chet Mitten, lover of cats, should be absolutely ashamed of himself right now. That he did not get it right. So Scott will get you the code, and we'll get you the code, and we'll so you can go spend $25, and you can get 50% off, and you could spend a little extra money when you're there to help them pay for that factory they're trying to build in that fallow field that they've bought. So,
congratulations.
I wonder, Kevin, do you know, like, where they got the name Azrael? Because, like, Azrael is like the angel of death.
Yeah,
that is true.
So, like, is that related?
I don't know if it's related, but it sounds like something that would be done. Gargamel naming his cat Azrael after.
I'm absolutely certain that's where that came from. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Having done plenty of borrowing like that myself. Hey, before you guys disappear back into the green room, whenever that's going to happen, I do want to.
They're kicking us out, Rose.
Oh my God! Already?
No, we are not. No, we
One
are
of the
not.
things I want to do, though,
Ed, stop with the cats need to be fed. Stop.
No, as special guest coordinator, I want to highlight some of the stuff you guys are going to be doing at Page. Rose, I know you're going to be doing a bunch of events. You want to talk about any of the stuff you're going to be running and participating in?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be running one-page dice dungeons. I'll probably be running the one we're writing for Page, so you guys can experience it and then take it home with you. But then also I do a writer's track with Jerry all over the country. So if you are an inspiring writer, whether that is for RPGs or for novelization, come to any one of my panels. You're going to learn a lot. My Create Your Own Magic system is one of the most popular ones, and that's one of the most attended in our set that I run. So definitely come check it out. A book has already been published from someone who was in the panel of mine. So
well, we're gonna have to get Ron into that writer's seminar, because now that he's publishing modules, he's gonna start doing novels.
There's already a novelist in my family.
I know you guys have.
You can have more than one.
Yeah, my actually my wife Jennifer's going to have a novel dropping soon. So
congrats!
This is
That's
her
awesome.
second one, right? This is her second novel.
Yeah, her first novel is called Apart. It's a kind of a psychological thriller.
Cool.
And she's diligently working on some fan writing related to D&D, but she's also working on a novel called Farm is an F Word, which is our, we're on a farm here. And by the way, she sends her love to you, Tiffany, for sending me back with a Medipack.
Yes.
When she was sick at EggCon. So.
I know. I felt so bad that she wasn't feeling good. So I'm glad that it brought her spirits up.
No, it did. It got her to the point where she wasn't weak and sleepy, and then she could get back to beating me down mentally and physically.
Well, and,
So-
and caring for sick chickens too.
Oh gosh.
She actually just
Yeah.
did the third bandage change on the chicken's foot. Chickens get something called bumblefoot. If they injure their foot in any way, step on something sharp, they get bit. Their feet will swell up, and they can't walk.
Oh my.
So she did some surgery to release, the infection in the thing's foot. And now you can barely tell, a week later, you can barely tell anything was wrong. So,
Wow.
but she has marked, and I'm going to put this up on the screen real quick.
Florence Knighting chicken.
Well, she's very prepared when she has to do more chicken surgery for next time. Here it is.
Kevin, you be prepared because I'm going to hit you up next.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I'm always. Yeah.
I also have a booth, so come check me
yes.
out in Vendor Hall.
Awesome.
All right.
And the Smurfs at one point did take care of an egg that then broke in and became a small little chicken that they had for a while. But, anything Ron's done, the Smurfs have done already.
So the egg came first.
So we have a few things here. Here's the patient in question.
Oh,
Okay, and she's got her little bandage on her foot.
Oh, she's
baby.
sweet.
Oh, man.
That's nothing. I mean, it was in bad shape about a week ago.
I don't know if we need to gross out our audience.
We're not grossing out the audience. Calm
let's
down.
just scroll on Facebook together.
Yeah.
I just don't know why we're seeing the things about KFC with your chicken on the table at the same time.
There you go. So,
Aw.
she's designated a bin as the chicken surgery kit now.
It's important to have.
Better a bin than a bucket.
Well, there's a bucket hanging out there too. If the surgeries aren't successful, they do go into the maggot bucket, and that's a whole different episode.
That's a whole different.
So,
All right. Well, hey, Kevin, why don't you give us a preview of your activities at Page?
Well, I'm just running games. So I'm going to be there running 2 games. And one, I'm going to be running a little special session I concocted for the Smurfs called The Return of the Purple Smurfs. So if everyone remembers the old nap fly biting the Smurfs, Rose, you would like this. Kind of like zombies. That's what happens. It's like a zombie plague of the Smurfs, the purple Smurfs. And so I'll be running that. And then I'll be running one of my games from the Book of Z, Zero Punk. And but it's going to be kind of themed along. If I don't know if folks remember the cartoon in the old game, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. But some of these punks are going to go beyond the wall of the Megapolis and see what they find on the outside. And it'll be pretty. So that's it. Those 2 games I'll be running. And then otherwise, I'll be playing games with other folks, walking around, and, of course, stopping by booths and checking out all the great folks who are there at Page.
Come play one of my games. I'd love to have you at a table.
I'll take a look. And see the schedule.
That'd be awesome.
Now, Kevin, you're going to be at ShireCon in a couple of weeks?
Oh yeah, I'll be at ShireCon in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
That's our friend Tom Wilson is running
Ron,
that.
Ron, are you going to be there? You going to be?
I'll
at
be
ShireCon?
there. Yeah, I'll
great.
be there.
Yeah. I'll be
It's
great to
in
see you there.
Connecticut, for those of you who are wondering.
Yep. You can check it out if you go to our Facebook page. I put a little note up there today about, hey, if you're looking to get your game on and can't wait until Page, it's right there.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin, I've got a question for you.
All right.
Who is your favorite Smurf?
No, my favorite Smurf of all, Jokey Smurf. It's easy. Jokey.
Oh, I love
always
him.
has an exploding present, gives it to you, boom, you can. It's a present for all occasions. I can't think of a jam that the Smurfs get into that an exploding present won't fix.
That's true.
Now we were talking about chickens, and we have Wes Allen in the
Wes,
crowd today
Wes, just
boy.
log
from
off.
DM Tales,
Log off, Wes.
and we all know that Wes stole eggs when they were at their height of price. When I brought a dozen eggs for the auction at his convention at CleeseCon. And then we couldn't find them. I gave them to him, and then they were gone. And then eventually, after a search, Anthony Simeone, a very loyal staffer to Page, found the eggs in Wes's office on a different floor of the church where it was held.
Well, maybe the Smurfs took them and hid them in the office.
Yeah, maybe it was a prank.
Yeah, they're little tricksters. You got to watch out.
I don't know. See, I was too busy running Clayorama for a group of 8-year-old children at a CleeseCon that were beating me to death. One of the children kept running over to his father, who was one of the Nintendo dads, or I don't know who they are, but he was there. He had a little booth, and the child kept running over and telling his father I was cheating. Every time he would get hit and take that, oh, he's cheating, Daddy. His dad would send him back.
Oh my
God. Oh no, you got to follow the rules. Oh, there it is. And Anthony Simeone confirms we have photographic proof of the egg theft. And for those of you who don't know, Wes will be put on trial at Page.
I was going to say, is there going to be a trial? Because I feel like he needs a rebuttal, at least.
It will be a jury. It will be a jury trial, which I will select the top fans of Page to decide if he actually did it.
This is drama.
Okay? And, Wes is going to have to find somebody to act as his solicitor, because the penalties could be bad. Now, he's already trying to build a motive for why this happened in his defense by saying it's about revenge. But I don't think the jury will fall for that, because everyone knows I am not petty or spiteful in any way, shape, or form.
Like mentioning it on live.
I just really want his solicitor to wear a chicken costume. That's all I want to see.
I feel like that's incriminating.
Yes, there has to be a trial at Page with Anthony Simeone playing the Kato Kalin-esque role of the key witness. He's there.
Well, if they do, someone's saying trial by combat. If they do that, I hope you're ready with a bunch of rubber chickens.
Yeah, that.
He doesn't want trial by combat because I have added a 6'8", 375-pound human being to our staff.
Oh, so you can pick your champion.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Poor Wes.
Well,
Get a good attorney, Wes.
I didn't know what I was getting into going to Page. I guess
Egg law.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for. He has to go under oath. He wants the truth. Wes, you can't handle the truth of this situation. I'm surprised Matt Archibald isn't stepping up to offer to be your attorney. But, speaking of attorneys, it's a good segue to mention one of the seminars and panels we're going to have at Page. we're going to have a panel, which I'm going to moderate, called the Rules Lawyers. And it's all gamer attorneys answering questions that are game and or game law related. And, you know, I'm sure they're going to be arguing with one another, and I plan to instigate that in the panel. But it should be a lot of fun. Folks like Alex Kammer will be sitting on that. Noam Wiener, who's an attorney at the United Nations. So should be a pretty interesting group. There's like
Ryan Morgan, I think as well. Right?
Ryan Morgan. Who's the other one? The local guy who was running Rollerball. I'm just Doug. I'm just drawing a blank, but we've got like 8 attorneys that are going to be in on that. So, Stephen Marsh. Stephen Marsh is an attorney of old time TSR fame. So, should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. Okay, are there any questions from the crowd for our guests?
I have one.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, Doug Waltman. Somebody just said it. Doug Waltman's on that panel as well. But go ahead.
Oh, this is for Tiffany. Rose. I'm sorry.
It's all good. You can call me either.
What is the novel that was the most challenging for you to write?
Oh man, it is the one I'm currently writing. It is book 4 of the series, and it was originally supposed to be the 3rd, but I pushed it off because it wasn't ready to be told. The voice wasn't clicking with me, and the reason is because I'm doing it in a format that I've never seen done before. That's not to say that I'm creating anything new. That's like impossible nowadays. But I am using both first person, third person, and second person points of views throughout the entire story all at the same time. So you're seeing the past, present, and future all play out in a single thread. And so it's kind of crazy, but it's the only way to fit in about 1,000 years worth of history. So.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been quite a challenge with that story, but it's coming together. The beta readers that I've had reading through it say that it flows well. It's easy to understand. It's not as complicated as I make it sound. But that is by far my hardest project I've ever worked on. And I mean, it's probably going to be my least favorite book I'll ever publish, but that's because it's given me such a headache. I think it's a great story, and I think it's important to the whole narrative of the world. It gives perspective to book 5, but yeah, it's definitely a difficult one for me. Thank you.
If you hate writing it, then hopefully you will have loved having written it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm sure when I go back and read it, I will fall in love with it. Being in it is just so hard. I've been in it for like 3 years. So I think once it's out of my hands permanently, I think I'll be very happy and be able to fall in love with the story and the characters, because it is actually very cool getting to see some very key characters in the series that are like fan favorites, but in a light that they've never seen them before. So it's pretty cool.
I'm not asking for a spoiler unless you want to give it, but do you have a title?
It is called Daughters of Mira. And Mira is the goddess of serenity and chaos. So she is the judicial goddess. She keeps everything in balance. But that often comes with insanity, because who can be both? So she's a fun one. And just think about what her daughters are like.
That's definitely got my interest peaked.
And it also has dragons. It's the first time dragons are introduced into my series because they are considered an extinct species because they went missing 500 years ago. But yeah, that's the most challenging I think I've ever done.
Oh, great.
That's awesome. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you.
Me too.
It'll come out at the end of this year. So
Do you have any of
So-
your
so will you-
novels
will-
on?
Real quick. So you'll have this available at Page?
yes, it should be. Mhm.
So
as long
are
as
we-
my order comes in on time, we should be good.
Are we
You-
doing a
you
book
self-publish?
signing?
I will be doing book signings while I'm at Page through the
Okay.
entirety of the weekend. There will be select times that I'll be doing it because I'll be gone doing other events and panels and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But always stop at the booth because you're going to either find me there or at the times that I'm scheduled to be elsewhere. You can find me there too.
Do you do your own publishing, or do you have a publisher?
I'm still considered an indie publisher, but I've been both traditional and indie published. Currently, my series is through a publisher, through Represent Publishing. So Chelsea is an incredible publisher. She takes care of me very well.
But we can always get your stuff through your website, though, right?
Yes, through my website. You can buy them anywhere. And it's not on Audible just yet. I'm actually currently in the talks with a few voice actors who are like my ideal picks for these characters. And it's just people may not know that it's very expensive to create an audiobook. So yeah, and especially because it's a full series, I want to make sure I maintain the full cast because of it all being interconnected. I don't want one person voicing, Cadron, and if he's coming back in another book or something, his voice to be entirely different than what it was in the first one. So,
Oh, I can't wait until it's on Audible because that's how I read everything.
yeah, I know. I'm excited for it too. It's going to be really interesting to hear the world through someone else's voice versus just my own, and I'm excited for that too.
So Kevin, will the Smurfs RPG print copies be out by the time Page comes around?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I would expect so. How about that, Ron?
Okay. Are you going to be dressed like a Smurf at Page?
No, but I'll probably wear a Smurf T-shirt. So how's that?
Yeah, the Smurf hat you had on earlier, that's out.
Unless you have a blue face.
That's totally out. You got to paint your face blue. We can't have that.
I'll probably
walking
just have a
around.
T-shirt.
Yeah, that would be best. So Matt Archibald says his client list is growing. First Pickles and now Wes Allen. Well, Pickles, that wasn't successful. Pickles is still banned. For those of you who don't know, Pickles is a Boston Terrier that had an accident on the floor at Page last year. So he's been, or she, or whatever, has been banned from Page this year.
Oh, poor Pickles.
What's crazy is my nickname is also Pickles.
I saw online that Pickles was going to be a special guest, Ron.
No, that was fake news generated by Chet Minton. That was fake news.
Yeah, well, Chet's verified the fact that Pickles is now a special guest. He just put it in chat.
Well, I don't know. Chet is our art director. I don't know if he's going to use excrement as art, but I mean, stranger things have been used as art in the past, I guess.
I love this drama.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
The scenes.
We got some free Pickles actions going on here.
There's a movement.
That was the problem. Pickles had a type of movement which hit the floor, and then Pickles' handler didn't realize and walked through it and ground it in everywhere. Yeah, it was not great. It was not great. It wasn't ideal.
Yeah, but Pickles, I've seen Pickles, your photo up of your special guest, and Pickles should be forgiven. Cute little dog.
Yeah. Forgive and forget, Ron.
That's right.
Pickles is a dog?
Yes.
Let me show you the face of this monster.
I don't know.
This
Pickles-
dog,
Pickles
you
is a
know,
dog.
there's all these pictures going around, you know, making Pickles look like, you know, he's this nice little Boston Terrier, but he's not. He's not.
He's
He's
not.
a monster. Look at this thing. Okay.
So mean to Pickles.
This is the stuff nightmares are made of.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not the most flattering picture. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Look at those eyes. You know, I had a Chihuahua growing up. His name was Hercules, and I'm a firm believer that something can be so ugly it's cute. And that was my rat dog, and I feel like Pickles is very cute, but that I feel like that teeth, that little maw is beautiful. I think that's adorable.
Listen, you know, we've determined from the teeth that Pickles is a British national. So,
oh my god. Okay, I lived in the UK for a little bit.
What did I say?
You get fought.
What did I say?
Yeah.
You know, things are always funniest when they contain a strong element of the truth.
Oh my god.
Oh
wow.
my goodness. All right. Do we have any other questions? There's a lot of Pickles talk in the chat. A lot of Pickles talk.
You can't see it right now, but I have an inflatable pickle just behind me.
This is a PG-13 show.
Yeah, it's an inflatable pickle. It has a big smile. He's like, it looks like a cucumber.
I forget. Whereabouts in the country do you live?
Me?
Yeah.
I live in Wisconsin. I'm from Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the reason I was asking is every year Pittsburgh does this massive pickles festival.
I know.
Yeah, and
it is on my bucket list to attend this festival. I am so I tell my friends all the time. I'm like, if you could save up 20 birthdays if you want, this is the one thing I want.
You should go. It's a wonderful city, and you can go to the Heinz History Museum, and which they'll give you a little tiny pickle pin.
They will.
I love pickles.
Me too.
People know this. It is the one food on the planet I absolutely hate.
That's fine. I will eat your pickles.
That's perfect, Phil. You're one of my juror picks.
Yeah. Yeah, I am not a picky eater. That is the one food. I love vinegar. I love cucumbers. You put them together, and it's a carcinogenic mess.
Nah, that is my favorite go-to snack. I've had people like fans and stuff bring me jars of pickles at events because they know I love pickles, and that's why my nickname is Pickles.
Oh, okay. Well, that was one of the question. Why is Rose's nickname Pickles? So
it is because I am in love with pickles. I've gotten pickle hot sauce, pickle cotton candy, pickle socks, an inflatable pickle, pickle signage, pickle cat toys. Most of these have been gifts.
Well, that's great. Yeah, Ron, I was talking to Phil about it actually, and he will eat kimchi as well.
Kimchi's good.
So it's not even the pickling.
No, it's not even the pickling process. It's actually, if you really want to know why I hate pickles, this is the actual answer. Okay. My older sister, there's Pickles.
Don't be mean to Pickles.
Poor Pickle.
Aww.
But like I was saying, my older sister, Michelle, had to babysit me when she was a teenager. And she'd always get ticked off about it because, my parents would be doing something on a Friday or Saturday night. You got to watch the kid. And my sister loved pickles, and I was like a little kid and like picky about food or whatever, maybe perhaps at that point in my life. And she thought it was funny to like torture me like with these pickles because I'm like, they smell or what have you. And she would like hold me down and like rub them on my face and like laugh about them. And it was like torturous. And it's like I just have a lot of trauma over pickles.
Oh my
I've got pickle trauma.
Can I tell you something, Phil? There is a support group for you because I know other people who have also had similar experiences
yeah,
with pickles and their siblings.
yeah. It pissed me off when I was a kid because I couldn't do anything about it. So I just decided that just give me this one thing, you know. Yeah, I've eaten a lot of weird foods and traveled the world, and I'm not intimidated by trying new foods or anything like that. But it's just like
Phil,
it's
was it a sweet pickle, dill pickle,
I
sour? What was it?
Kevin needs
I have
to
no
know.
idea. I have no idea. It came from a jar, and she was laughing, and it was traumatic.
Of course, the connection dropped there. What did she do with the pickle?
Rubbed it on his face.
Yeah, she held me down
Wow.
like
Wait,
yeah.
wait. You got to stop. You have to stop. We need to take this over to Porcelain Palace.
Yeah,
The
there is
porcelain-
an episode called Pickle People, and literally I talk about pickles for 40 minutes straight because
Right.
we got on the topic and I couldn't stop. Just like now I've converted it into this is like a part 2 of the podcast.
I know what Phil needs, and I think Ron, you have to get a jar. You can get a jar of affirmation pickles. They're paper, they're not real, and you open up the daily affirmation pickle, and it'll give you a positive message.
Aw.
I think we need to deprogram Phil and get a box of the daily affirmative affirmation pickles, so that we can give them one each
That's a
day
great
at
idea.
page.
See, I'm a firm believer. I come from a rough area. I'm a
Oh
firm
my
believer
God.
that we have to traumatize Phil with jars of pickles,
Desensitize
and
him.
just until it doesn't matter anymore, that he's just given up and pickles aren't a bother anymore because they're just they're just in his reality, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Wow, exposure therapy. Ron's on board.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote no on that. That's a hard no vote.
Consent has not been given.
No, consent has not been given.
No.
We have no safety tools in play at Page, just so we're
Yeah,
clear.
I'm
They're
totally,
DM optional.
I'm totally fine with leaving Phil and his dislike of pickles alone, because chances are good I'll have lunch with him, which means when we get served subs, I'll get to have his pickle.
That's the
There you
best
go.
part of eating with people who don't like pickles is you get their pickle then. It's
No.
In
Great
my
system.
friends group, I'm about the only person who likes olives, so I get a whole bunch of olives when we go.
I love olives.
I only like olives on like the taco dip.
Okay.
That's
Olives on pizza, delicious.
Chet, you can book that. What I have on the screen right there. You can book if that's your suggestion. Yes, we know what the next page picture is. Yes.
Kevin, I need to know, what is your obsessive food if you have one?
Oh boy, I don't know. Honestly, I'm one of these people. You can take all the sweets away from me, and I'm fine with it. I love popcorn, nice salty, buttery popcorn. So that's it right there. I'm real simple.
That's great. Do you ever put treasure in it?
Indeed,
Yeah.
and probably anything from M&Ms to Junior Mints.
Whoa.
Ooh, that would be good.
Junior Mints.
That's a good idea. I
Yeah.
always had them at the movie theater, but I never thought of combining them. That's a good one.
There's a lot of like segueing in this episode. You said Junior Mints. We were talking about gingers earlier. We could do a whole Game of Thrones thing with this.
I think
Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
You don't know what I'm talking about? The Thens, like the big guys who were with the Northmen.
I
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
he was
I have
arguing-
never
they were
watched
arguing with-
I've never watched Game of Thrones.
I thought you were
Wow.
thinking more of creating a bingo card for this.
Yeah, I
episode
was
with all
thinking
sorts
that
of
too.
nutty
I was
stuff on
more
it.
Wait a
like
minute,
the wild card.
Yeah.
It looks like Wes Allen. He's a big no on pickles returning the page too, as you can see from the screen.
On pickles or pickles? There needs to be a clarification because lowercase would signify edible pickles. Uppercase
No,
would be the dog.
I just think it's poor messaging etiquette. That's what I'm chalking it up to.
He just doesn't want Pickles the dog.
Yeah, there it is. Anthony Simeone knows what I'm talking about. The wildlings. And Egret, got into an argument with one of the Thens, and it came up. There it is.
Magnar of Then. Yeah, that's right.
Good pickup, Anthony.
All right. Any other questions for our guests before we let them go? Any moment, Ed's cat's going to walk across the screen, and Ed's going to be calling for a sudden end to the program so he can go feed the
Feed the little monsters.
Here's the summer. Here's the summary. Ched has summarized the
Cat game.
Yeah, Ched has just summarized tonight's program: gingers, dog poop, and pickles.
Yeah.
And the Smurfs and one-page dungeon person.
That's right. That's right. So everyone, when you're going to bed tonight, just remember the song. La 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 la. You can do that all night long. You can think about it, right, Beth? You just hear that song going in your head.
I was whistling it this morning.
She was preparing for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a question out to Jenn Cash here. I'm gonna test your Smurfs knowledge. You said you watch the Smurfs every morning, every Saturday morning.
Yep.
Where do Smurf babies come from?
The stork. I don't know.
Well, what's the stork? What's the stork's name?
Oh, you had to ask.
It begins with an F.
Frank.
Frank.
Hey,
No, it's not Frank.
It's a stork that delivers babies, and its name begins with an F. I mean, you're setting us up, Ron. This is
Fernando.
To PG-13 territory.
It's Feathers.
Oh, that's right.
2 on the nose. Frank would have been better.
Somebody
so
actually, the suggestion of Fernando was brought up.
Really?
Which makes me want to go to YouTube and play the Fernando song.
Yeah,
live on the program.
Oh God.
So, all right. Well, seeing no other questions coming in, Rose and Kevin, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Kevin, we'll let you lead off with your exit. Do you have anything you want to leave our watchers with?
The only thing I'll say is, hey, take a look out for the upcoming Kickstarter, the Book of Z, if you're interested in those kinds of settings. And then also take a listen to Analytic Dice, and you'll hear some great talk about games and game mechanics. And then for our special episodes around studios, hear people in the industry like Joseph Goodman, Jason Elliott, and some other folks hear what they have to say. And who knows, maybe a Rose and maybe a Ron coming up. Who knows?
Heck
That'd be great.
yeah.
I'm in.
All right. Thank you, though. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you all at Page.
All right. And Tiffany, you want to leave
Yeah.
our watchers with something?
Absolutely. You can find me. You can Google TR Nickel and I will pop up. Otherwise, everything else you ever need to know is under redroseworks.com. That'll have me and Jerry Shepard and all the things that we do in the gaming industry, which is honestly a little too much. So,
Hey, two things before you leave. One thing is, remember, obviously we've got our Facebook page, we've got our Discord page. As guests of Page, you are officially invited to post like milestones in those areas. When you have a new book coming out, when you're doing a new Kickstarter, please feel free to use our social media to
Awesome.
your benefit on that. And conversely, if you haven't done this already, if you can record us like a 2-minute video of what what your plans are for Page, what you think about Page, and send it in, Ron and our media people would love to publish that, because it's been great having you on, and we'd like to be able to put you up on our YouTube page permanently.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Can do.
Yeah, immortality. All right.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Kevin and Rose. And we will maybe see you before Page. I'm definitely going to see Kevin before Page. And I'll see you, Rose, out at Gamehole Con, I'm sure,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll be catching up, but we're going to let you go off into the night.
Be
Good night.
Smurfy to each other.
Okay. This is you, Phil. This is where
All
you
right.
come back
Okay.
in. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Folks, we're going to catch you up with some page-specific news if you haven't been paying attention to the socials in the last week or so, or you haven't been catching up with the live streams or whatnot. You've been on vacation or you've been busy at work, but we're going to get you all squared away right now. Our registration totals are nearing 4 digits. Okay, as people are piling in now, just in the last day or two, it seems, and getting badges, and so that's good. It looks like maybe we're coming out of a little bit of a summer lull, and as people are coming into the fall, they're finally realizing that it's time to get their page badge. And so if you haven't yet already, I just don't know what you're waiting for. So hop on in there and get your badge. Event submissions. We have a hard date that's been announced of October the 3rd. Will be the day that we're going to close the gate on event submissions. We are still receiving them. They are coming in basically on a daily basis. We're getting a few here, a few there. So there are still folks that are sending stuff in, and we're putting them on the calendar. Hopefully these new badge buyers are going to see all these great events on there and start signing up and all that great stuff. And again, if you haven't sorted out your calendar yet for what you're signing up for, of course, some things are sold out, but there's lots of other choices to be made. We currently I think it's 892 events scheduled, with others likely coming. So we might be at 1,000 when we're all said and done. Probably not, but we'll see. AffiliateGamingExpo.com is where you can get those badges. We did mention earlier that some of our YouTube content, more recent YouTube content, has been in a shorter form. So we have our special guests talking about who they are and what they like about Page and what they'll be doing at Page. So recently we had a video by Justin Alexander that just went up, amongst others. Additionally, we've mentioned before that our special guest Levi Combs currently has a Page 3 specific adventure, the Iron Cobra of Helgrim Hall. There's still copies available for that. It is limited. So if you have not grabbed one yet, go on to the website, look for the merch, get merch in the drop down, and you'll easily find it there on that page. So once they're gone, they're gone. Let's see. Hotels. We mentioned it last time. There are some new hotels that we are offering that are in the Page Hotel block. The True by Hilton and the Marriott Residence in Collegeville. Those are now available for you to get a hotel room, as the nearer hotels have all sold out. So you snooze, you lose, but it's not too late to grab a nearby hotel. Some of them do have shuttle service available, if not both of them. We'll know as we get closer to the con about that, but grab your hotel room and join us. Folks, we will be having Phil E. Cheesesteak plushies. They will be limited in number. They will be handmade here in the U.S., and if you are interested in reserving a plushie for yourself, I know Ron made a post on the Facebook group page.
Ron, could you take the picture?
Yeah, maybe you want Ron to pull up a picture of the prototype.
Mm-hmm.
and that way you can let us know if you're interested, so that we know to let the maker know how many need to be manufactured. So we don't know a concrete price on that, but what I want everyone to know is that these are literally not coming from a factory. They are coming from an individual, one person who is hand making these at home on their sewing machine. So you are truly getting a handcrafted item from someone who really knows what they're doing. These are not some overseas factory made items. So if you are considering it, as you likely should, you want to let us know. As Ron's working on getting some pics up there and showing them off, in case you haven't seen it. We posted a few times. So there we go. We have Philly cheesesteaks prototype. You can see, I think the eyes look fantastic on them. I think it really captures the character. So they will likely be looking something very similar to that. Again, you can see the sewing machine in the back that they were probably made on. There will not be a ton of them available because they each take some time to do. So let us know.
I definitely want one.
Yes, I already expressed interest myself. So I think they will likely be relatively decent sellers. And we have some folks in the chat saying that they're interested as well. So that'll be great.
And I can put a little more clarity on this.
Sure.
There will only be 50.
Okay, so there's the hard number.
Okay. There will only be 50. And they're going to be somewhere in the range of about $60, give or take. They are made by a young lady I met when I was out in Wisconsin for EggCon, named Angela Norris. And she runs a company called the Snuggly Seamstress. And she specializes in making handmade plushies. And to me, this is a better way to go. I like these kind of things. We'd like to have limited edition type things. We're likely going to, not likely, we're going to put some of the proceeds into the gamer assistance program from the plushies. So we'll more will come out soon. I'm just sort of finalizing everything, but that's an actual prototype. That's not some AI image. I'll have that in my grubby little hands in the next week or so, but I'm so confident based on what I saw when I was in Wisconsin and just seeing these pictures that I went ahead and I approved the order. So she's working on them, and they're going to be pre-order only. And we may put one in the charity auction itself and let that raise some money.
That seems like a great idea.
If this goes well, then we'll do 50 additional plushies next year, or maybe 100, but they'll be a little different. We'll do something different for next year. Obviously, Phil's our mascot, and we'll try to run with that.
Well, this one's with Wiz. We can do one with Provolone.
Yeah, we could do anything. So,
when are we going to be able to pre-order?
Probably next week. By the end of next week, I want to give people enough notice that they're going to be able to get in on it, because I suspect they'll be going within 24 hours, if not sooner.
Yep. Yeah, let me know. I definitely want one.
Yeah, Matt Archibald said he's going to get one for Pickles to chew on.
Well, that's fine. That's fine with those ruddy British lower teeth. It'll be. So we have an anthology of encounters coming
Yes,
out.
that's right.
It is not an adventure anthology. It is an encounter anthology. We're trying to keep it limited to 2 to 4 pages per author. And Mike Nystol is going ahead and compiling that. I will tell you that for next year we're going to have additional adventures, because at least one of the adventures that was sent into us that's way too long for this kind of book we're putting together. We're going to. What is that? What is going on? Why do I hear noise in the background?
Every once in a while, my connection does something funny, and there's a buzzing sound.
Okay. The
Earlier.
Somebody turned in an adventure that we're going to make a page exclusive adventure for next year, and we already have that in hand. And it seems like there's minimal changes that would need to be made to get it ready. So, pretty excited about that. And we got some cool stuff going on this year. We have a lot of exclusive stuff, but we're already looking towards page 4 as well.
Yes. Yep. And all this stuff is really exciting if you haven't picked up on it. But nonetheless, now you know. We did in the last week announce 2 additional special guests. And they are Andreas Lundström from the Sweden Rolls podcast. And he will be flying over from Sweden and joining us. And we are very excited to have him. And he's very excited to be joining us. And so if you are interested in learning more about him, I would highly recommend that you reach out into whatever podcast catcher you use to look for Sweden Rolls and do a little listening.
He's in the EN World Hall of Fame for that podcast. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
He is. Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Well,
I haven't been this excited for visitors from Sweden since ABBA.
Oh, okay. Or when they put the IKEA in Plymouth meeting.
Yeah.
Additionally, Montel Thompson, aka Navy Montel, who is a content creator and a podcaster, will be joining us as well from his home in Virginia. Ron, you were nice enough. You met him. You ran into him at a game
very chance meeting. Yes.
Yes, very chance meeting, and had a conversation. And I think Montel. I watched some of his content, and I think he does a really good job. He's very knowledgeable about gaming, and we are extremely happy to have him. And I know he's extremely happy and excited to be joining us. So that's really great news. We want to welcome Montel to page 3 in a few short months. That'd be fantastic.
I'm so glad my wife, as you can see, she sends thoughts of she sends messages of encouragement to me there, where she says, you just totally pegged yourself as an old dude
by mentioning ABBA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jen, I like other music from that era too. Should I play a few of the songs from the 70s I really love? I think Paul Anka sang one of them.
I'd be careful. You might get a copyright strike.
Yeah, and you only get 3 of those, and then they cancel your channel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But that is all I basically have. And it looks like I'm looking at the clock. This is about the length of a typical episode for us. So I think we're winding down here, friends.
Yes, we are. Oh, do we want to
Time to
announce?
see the cats.
Do we want to announce? Jen knows where I'm going. She doesn't want me to play that music.
I think I know what song you're talking about too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should probably make an announcement.
Of what? A new special guest?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to be joined by the very hyper local author, James Panarella, at Page again this year. He's has a novel called The Role Players, and it's about a gaming group, and some stuff happens. So it's a very interesting book. If you haven't read it, it's well worth the read. And he can walk to the convention center, which is absolutely wonderful for him. But James is going to be with us again. He'll be there with his books. He'll be signing books. He'll be one of the panelists on our authors panel. And we're excited to have James back.
Yes, indeed. That's great. Great news.
And who do we have on the show next week?
We have, that's a good question, Ed. We have, there we go. Next week we have, oh, where did I lose it? I lost it. We have, hold on. Matt Forbeck, Marvel Superheroes role-playing game, correct?
Yes.
And we have Michael Webb, the general manager of
WizKids.
WizKids, with us next week.
Great.
So, yeah.
And I will say that, both of them have been in the industry a very long time. So even if you haven't played Marvel Superheroes or aren't doing stuff with WizKids now, I guarantee that if you're listening to this, you will have done something that involved Matt or Michael over the years.
Yes. If I
Absolutely.
remember correctly, Michael he worked for Paizo for a while. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And Matt Forbeck used to do freelance for me back when I was at West End Games in the early 90s.
Yeah. I had a conversation with Matt at Gamehole Con 2 years ago in the GM's lounge where we just sat for like an hour and just chatted. And so he's a very personable guy and very nice indeed, and does fantastic design work as well. So, yeah.
And, one more thing, I'm going to tease something for next week. We have, we may be making a pretty big announcement about a major manufacturer that looks like they're going to be coming to Page.
Yes.
Fingers
So-
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll have the particulars, but they came to us recently
After being approached
and
months ago.
yeah, now, like we said last week when Ed was at the Orioles game, there's always a few people that suddenly start I was wondering, is there any room for me at Page? And that was exactly what this was. So we're going to be very happy to announce that if it comes to fruition next week. And so tune in. And I'm trying to think of what else we have going on. I think that's really it.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. Yeah. Just spread the word, folks. If you're still in the live chat and you're watching this later, also remember there are multiple social media platforms that you can find us on, whether it is Facebook, of course, YouTube. Like, subscribe, get notifications, share it out. We're trying to hit 500 here on the YouTube channel, and we are in the 400s at this point. So we just need a few more subs to hit that 500 goal and keep all ships rising. I know myself and Rebecca Swesney have been over at Blue Sky trying to build up our following over in Blue Sky as well. So if you're on Blue Sky, that's another fantastic place you can find out what's going on at Page if Facebook is not really your thing anymore. So and yeah, so we'll hopefully see everybody next week.
That sounds like a plan.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Night all.